welcome yet again to the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here on the Bear in Mind channel. Today, the Queen of Own is back, and she nearly throws her favorite person under the bus. Apparently, AsmonGold thinks Republicans should be scared, and frankly, I don't disagree with him on that part. If this is who people are idolizing right now, it's they're pretty much fucked. But let's get into it.
Denim almost says you can't pull on a dog's tail.
Before remembering. Oh, no. For context,
The Queen
this
of
is the
Cell
same
Phone.
person we had to deal with before.
$30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
Saying I'll pay $30,000 to get rid of this guy, and I'm the one on the.
Yeah, like she's literally put hits on people online. Not real hits, but you can't say that kind of shit on the platform. But they let her say that shit on the platform.
Screen. Yeah, it was mean.
We are talking about a multi-layered generational hater here that keeps talking about Asmon almost every day. And now she's going viral for shit-talking H3H3 Ethan Klein's co-hosts, momentarily forgetting her hero is a glorified dog electrocutor.
It's funny too, like for that person earlier in chat,
For additional context, Denims is currently being sued by Ethan Klein. So naturally, she spends most of her days hating on Ethan's employees.
this is that.
And again, she's being sued because, as we've covered, she constantly talks shit about him, but that's not why she's suing him. That's why he set up the trap that we covered. But she's being sued because she openly said to watch his content with her putting no kind of commentary on it, and her actively, openly saying that she wanted to take views, therefore money, away from said person. You can't make this shit up. She's the queen of cell phone, but since Dan Clancy loves gooning after this one, she'll probably never be kicked off the platform.
Lit bro.
She pulled his tail? I didn't even notice that. Someone in chat mentioned it. Dude, you can't.
This is real time. I'm not
This
slowing
is
the
where
clip
she's
down.
realizing right
She
there.
blew in his face and then she pulled his tail.
Isn't this so transparently pathetic? I mean, do these people have really no self-respect?
Dude, you can't.
Oh, wait. Hassan did that.
What's the problem?
And
I
also
don't get it.
shocked his dog.
Basically, Hassan had a clip pulling his dog's tail, and everybody was criticizing it. But because she's part of his orbiters, she can't criticize pulling on a dog's tail as something that's bad, because then that would also implicate Hassan as being bad because he had a clip of pulling on his dog's tail. Now, you think this is retarded? Yeah. So this is
I mean,
the
it
clip
is
of
retarded.
Hassan doing it.
Motherfucker. Come
Exactly.
here. If you run right now, I'll fucking.
And this is, again, I think it's ridiculous that the whole thing with him and his dog have gone this far. But the only reason it has become such a huge topic that's even being talked about on actual news channels is because he keeps changing his story. He's like, oh, guys, I didn't shock her. I took the shock prongs off. No, it's a vibrating collar. No, it's this. No, it's that. What are you talking about? That never happened. Kaya doesn't even live here. Like, he's... The last one he didn't actually say, but all the rest of them he has. Within a week period, he changed his story 6 times. And then he keeps changing it. Then he tried to be cool with it, and then he started banning people who had been subscribed to his channel for 6-7 years for pointing this out. And then he called them Islamophobic and all other kind of phobics because they pointed it out. They didn't say anything about him being Muslim. They only said that he shocks his dog and makes it stay in the place as background, like a stuffed animal. You can't make this shit up.
Kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay?
And by the way, she didn't even pull the tail. She was just moving the dog's cover.
Dude, you can't.
I don't see how anybody can watch something like this and then afterwards think to themselves, you know what? I want to listen to this person and like hear what they have to say. It's so sad. Genuinely so sad.
Well, and it kind of fits how today's news and such goes, because everyone just cares about people that they care about, who believe certain things. No one cares about anything beyond that. So if you're a conservative, you're going to listen to conservative types because that's all you give a shit about. Same with the liberals, because that's all you give a shit about. you don't even acknowledge the hypocrisy on your own side. You always see it on the other side, and you have to point it out. But when someone says something about yours, you say the same excuses you get on the other side for saying. And I'm not talking about any one side when I say that. It happens on both sides. Just sometimes it happens more than others on, actual issues that matter.
Here. Hey.
Mods. Do I have mods?
No, you
Well, we
fired
could
them all.
Talk about JD Vance. Like, I think
Okay, this is Clavicular. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Look, I'm not a fan of this guy, mostly because he straight up ran someone over in a Cybertruck, which I don't know if you know this. It's like the heaviest truck in existence. And also retarded looking. Kind of like him. I'm sure he likes it because it's beautiful and angular like his face is. He spent lots of money on both of them, okay? Look at this. He spent so much money. Look at the lip filler. Yes, he feels like he comes directly from the mind of the people on Sprockets. You don't
JD
understand
Vance,
that unless
would
you're
he
old.
be a better candidate and probably closer to me in terms of policy than Gavin Newsom? Yes, but he's just not going to be good enough to be deserving. I think the
That's
right,
right.
has
That's right.
kind of let down the voters for the longest time. So I think
Yep.
That part is true. I completely agree that conservatives are giant pussies. All of them. They don't do anything. How do I know this? Say what you want about what Trump's doing right now, but when Democrats get back in office, and they will, they absolutely will, they're going to be emboldened, and they're going to do all of the things. You can almost guarantee that everyone in Trump's cabinet is going to be arrested. You can almost guarantee this. If they lose the next election, it's going to happen. I mean, it happened with a lot of them. They arrested his lawyer for being his lawyer, okay, during the last... Hey, what's going on, Shapeshifter? Welcome back. But it's going to happen. And if the... Shit. What are they called? The Nick Fuentes' people. The Groypers. If Groypers and people like this guy do what they're planning on doing, and they're going to vote for Gavin Newsom in the next election, I mean, clearly he deserves the job because he's done such great work with California and San Francisco, the best state and the best city in all of the land. Look, I don't care if a Democrat becomes president. Okay, I don't hold anything to either party. No, I'll be on here tomorrow. But Gavin Newsom is got to be the worst potential candidate. And this is coming from someone who was very outspoken in the 2020 election when they kicked out 3 of their best candidates. I was a big Bernie guy. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I love that she went kamikaze on Kamala Harris. It was great. And I liked Andrew Yang. He had a few things I don't agree with. I don't think we're to the place where they can give us basic what's it called? The UBI, the Universal Basic Income. That's what it is. No, yeah, and if you don't happen to be on here tomorrow, Happy New Year to you too. Oh, and to you too, my viewer on Kick. But no, it's anyway, we'll get into what this guy reminds me of Dennis Reynolds. Okay, he's very American Psycho. He has to be a caricature of a person because no one can just be this retarded. But let's listen. And the fact that I don't know. Like I said, I got no great love for AsmonGold. He's had a few base takes here and there. I disagree with him on quite a bit. But I don't know. The fact that he's down with this, again, I agree that Republicans are pussies and they don't do anything. Like, they've done a little bit, like the immigration thing, love it or hate it, it is something that they campaigned on, but they're not doing as much as they said they would. But at the same time, I've seen people on the left both criticize them for doing it and then get on them for not doing it to the extent that they were saying it. It's kind of retarded. But at the same time, I mean, if it works, it works.
I don't really think that right-wingers should just give support to these jesters who can...
I agree. Neither party should, like, nobody should ever give their full support to a party no matter what they do. You have to be able to speak up and let it be known that they're fucking up. I don't care what side it's on. We should not be, like, it used to be Democrats and Republicans were more or less the same party. And they're still two wings of the same demon bird. But now it's getting to the point where they're letting the retards on both sides of their little spectrums take over the party. You can't deny this. Especially if they let guys like Clavicular or the Fuentes Groypers take over Republicans. That's not a party war I want to see. I don't want to see the extreme Antifa crazed left go up against people like the Groypers and Dennis Reynolds here.
Absolutely.
Continue to underdeliver on their promises. Just let the Democrats win. That's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of just like why I don't support Vance as a voter. But
I have been waiting for this for years.
Look, and I'm okay with you not liking people's politics, but the reason he said he won't support Vance is because Gavin Newsom is more handsome. You can't make this shit up.
I am so happy. Like
JD Vance is a little chubby in the face. Yeah, but I really think that he's seen the meme so many times, the long-haired fat boy meme. He might actually think that's the real person.
Bro, because I was worried, for a long time, this is a stupid idea. No, it's not. Your support is not guaranteed. The thing is that everybody that says it's stupid,
I agree with that.
The reason why you think it's stupid is because you're still in the cave.
No, and that's the thing. Mr. Gold, can I call you Mr. Gold? That's not why they're saying you're stupid. They're saying he's stupid because he is. The guy's a moron. He's voting for someone because they're more handsome. They're not saying that he's stupid for the part where you're supposed to just do whatever your party says. Like I'm looking at the chat. It's right here. I see it. See, this guy agrees with you. This guy's a retard. He does everything that you say because he's the exact kind of retard that you're currently saying is bad.
You need to come out of the cave. You need to stop.
First of all, AsmonGold, and he'll think this is funny, so I don't mind saying this. You're not giving your living condition. You shouldn't say you need to come out of the cave to anyone. That being said, don't at me. I mean, actually, you should at me. I would love if you added me. But don't at me.
Inside of this little box that they put you in, and it said you can be disrespected or you can get fucked over. Well, no. I don't.
I agree with what AsmonGold is saying on this. I don't agree with the fact that he thinks that Clavicular is base. Or, look, we're either going to call him Vehicular because he ran a guy over on purpose and was very the guy from American Psycho about it, or Dennis Reynolds. But we will not call him by his actual names.
I don't want to be in this box anymore. This box sucks. This is a shitty box.
I agree.
Saying
no one should be a conservative
for any Republican.
That's right.
Or
The
Democrat.
right wingers should not vote for the Republican.
Not unless they deliver something that matters. That's the reason why people voted for Trump. They voted for Trump because he said he was going to put that stupid bitch Hillary Clinton in jail. He was going to build a wall and stop all of the migration, and he was going to just go over and bomb the shit out of ISIS and bomb the shit out of all these people in the Middle East, these terrorist groups. That's it. That's why people voted for them.
Yeah, but instead of bombing the shit out of them, which there were a couple of bombs, if I recall, the mother of all bombs. But then he also signed the peace deals, so he did a bit more than he said on that part. as far as foreign policy, you really can't say much negative about Trump's foreign policy. There's a few hiccups here and there, but at least as far as most presidents go, again, love him or hate him, and I hate complimenting any president, especially the last 4, because there's only been 4 in my adult life. My God, yeah, it hurts.
That's exactly why.
Until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
So is there a candidate you would prefer? I assume you don't actually want to vote for Newsom. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you are a Democrat. No. Okay. So then who's a right-winger you want to vote for?
He doesn't know because he doesn't pay attention to politics. But he's a voice in politics, and that's the scary thing.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're...
I love how he says that, bro. He says that like a fucking boomer.
Isn't one. Let's...
I will agree. Michael Knowles talks like someone twice his age. He's, I think, 35, if I'm not mistaken. And he talks like someone who's in their 60s or 70s.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it?
How old is Michael Knowles?
It's doomer.
How old is he? Oh, wait, no, I'll watch that one in a minute.
Yeah, 35.
No. No, bro.
What are you freaking out about?
No, how did this happen? How did this happen to me? What the fuck? That's me. Oh my God. I didn't know he's 30. So he's 30 fucking 5. I don't know what to say, right? I don't know what the fuck to say. It is what it is. And maybe we were boomers all along. I don't know, guys. I feel
you're not a boomer. Okay, you can do something boomer-esque, but boomer specifically is pointing out the baby boomers because they're old crotchety fucks. You're not a boomer. That's not what that means.
I feel like I'm not a boomer. I don't know. Maybe I am. So, and Friendly Fire, come out of the cave now, Asmon. So 35 is the new 60. Is that right? Give Trump time. Okay, I'm going to pull you up.
Okay.
Why didn't he do all this shit that happened in the first term? Why didn't he put Hillary Clinton in jail? Why didn't he do anything? He had 5 years of time, and he's had 10
4
years of planning. Really? Like, it gets better after 2. This is, yes, exactly. This is like one of these guys that like, yeah, I played this video game and I thought it wasn't very good. Oh, no, bro. See, you don't understand. If you play the game for like 2.
Okay, this is a retarded take. Look, the president is a powerful position, and we keep giving them more power via stupid things like the Patriot Act and the expansion of the Patriot Act under Obama. I'll just say it was originally done by George Bush underneath his presidency. But we do keep giving the president more power each time a new party takes over. And we keep doing this like the other party's not going to be in power at some time. And then we get all mad because they use the power that our side, quote unquote our side, the left or the right, gave the president when we were in charge, when the other guys take over, and then the other side does the same thing. They'll give him a bunch of power, a bunch more powers, a wider reach of executive orders, and then we get mad when the other side takes back over and uses the executive orders for things we don't like. And it's pretty much just become anytime a new president steps in the office, they sign a bunch of executive orders, which immediately cuts the throat of whatever the previous guy did. Trump did it when he came in office, Biden did it when he came in office, and then Trump did it again when he came in office, okay? They're all guilty. They're all guilty of this shit. They'll give themselves power when their guy's in the seat, and then they get all mad and fussy when the next guy uses the same amount of bullshit. I've never understood this. The way it's set up, is perfect. It's perfect for gridlock, and it's perfect that way. If the only way we can get things to get signed off on, is if everyone agrees this is the way to go. You're not supposed to have all these big omnibus packages that keep coming out for bills, okay? They keep naming these things the Yippee Playtime Fun bill, and it'll have a little bit of Yippee Playtime Fun on the surface, but written deep on like page 365 of 2,000 pages, it'll have this right here. Pure evil. This is why the omnibus packages are retarded. They'll put 2,000 pages out of things that have on a broad array. Like a lot of the stuff, and yes, again, Republican or Democrat, everyone should have been cheering the Doge shit. The only reason I can think of for the Democrats to not be okay with it is because it was mostly one-sided. There were a few Republicans implicated, but it was mostly pointing out Democrat things. Mostly because a Democrat just came out of the office, one of the most corrupt politicians of all time. Of all time. The Biden family, the Clinton family, and the Bush family. Three of, I will say Biden, long running, he'd been in for what, like 49 years? One of the most corrupt politicians. He pretty much just says whatever's popular with the party at the time. Okay, there's pictures. He's the one that put out the bill that was the reason that so many black people were arrested across the country in the 80s, 90s. I can't remember what it was called, the name of the bill specifically, but he's the one that penned it. So, I mean, but if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. So, come on.
230 hours, it's going to be really good. No, you don't understand. See, it gets good after you played it for 200 hours. Because I played it for like 5,000 hours. It's really good. But you have to play it a lot. Like, it's going to be, in his next term, he's going to be able to do it. What is this? Most of his first term was spent fighting impeachments. It wasn't spent fighting impeachments. And also, what if he gets...
Well, one, you don't fight impeachments, okay? So that what that guy said is retarded.
Like, it doesn't matter whether he gets impeached or not.
As long as they don't
Clinton
throw him out of the house.
Impeached, who gives a shit? The problem is that, again, do you think...
I mean, apparently being impeached doesn't even mean you can't run again, let alone doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose office. But they're all supposed to balance each other. Judicial, legislative, executive. And then we keep getting more and more power added to the executive. And then Congress keeps getting mad that the president's using the power that they gave him, because most of them have been in there since the 70s.
You think that there is somebody out there
80s.
that could have done it better than him? Because I think that there is.
Or maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one.
It's kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying
it's
if you're
not
a real
a doomer.
hardcore Giga Chad right-winger, you should let the Democrats rape your country.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the acceleration. This mentality, because, like, look, what is the...
I am so happy.
I'm not.
I am so happy. People are finally stepping out of the cave. They're finally stepping out of the cave.
Again, AsmonGold, I can see water dripping from your ceiling, okay? Stop saying people should step out of their caves.
This is amazing. Wow.
I'm sorry. He seems like a decent guy.
Let it all
Hi,
burn down.
if you're watching,
Absolutely.
you're not. I know you're not.
Right going to do other than just
and this is, and also there's another thing about this is that you see how Michael Knowles creates this like emotional ploy by using the word rape and trying to frame it in a way that would make him sound like he would be a, you know, like an evil person or a bad person for saying and agreeing with this. And then he just goes, yep.
Right-winger, you should let the Democrats rape your country.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, that's the accelerationist mentality, because, like, look, what is the right going to do other
That's fucking right.
than just, like, a small win here and, like, you know, maybe you overturn Roe v. Wade on, like, a federal level, but abortion is still allowed, like, state to state, so it's like it really doesn't do anything. It's like if these people are just going to, like, continue...
Maybe you deport 2 million people, maybe
Okay,
you
but there's still
restore some
28
of the
million
American
more,
economy.
right?
And see, this is retarded. Okay, this is why no one takes either party seriously, because no matter what is done, even if, and again, love him or hate him, Trump has at least attempted to do the things that he said he was going to do. At least attempted. You don't see that from anybody else, okay? I don't like a lot of the stuff that he's doing, but you have to at least acknowledge the fact that he's at least trying to do the things that he said he's going to do. And once it got broke down to me, like the thing with the ballroom attached to the White House, the section that they're breaking down is just a bunch of old offices that no one really uses anymore, apparently. I talked to a relative of mine who's been through there, who's worked in the White House under a previous administration. That's what he said. And then also, they have to do all these things. Like they have to, whenever they have a lot of people there, they have any kind of event or celebration there, they put up a big stupid tent, which costs a lot of money. And in the long run, it'll save money to just have the ballroom there to do it, blah, 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 blah. And then it'll also make security easier because you're not in a fucking tent. I've watched a lot of people being attacked in tents recently. One was particularly horrifying, but we won't get into that. But yeah, even that, someone explained it to me, a couple of people, because I talked to a lot of people about it because I wanted to know exactly why people were mad and why people were okay with this, tearing down a section of the White House. Apparently that section was built in like the 60s anyway, or the 50s or some such, and it wasn't up to code. Like it was like any historical building, it was fucked up. So, and apparently the main White House was completely up to code because it's been renovated so many times because it's the main section that the president lives and works in. Sorry, my ADD's taking hold. Let me refresh myself on what I was talking about.
People are just gonna like continue.
Maybe you deport 2 million people. Maybe.
Oh yeah. But look, so many people are against all the deportations. Okay, yes, cool, I get it. But people like this guy are mad because Trump hasn't done 15 times as many. Apparently, there's an estimate where there's 30 million illegals that need to be out of the country. He's mad that not only has Trump kept allegedly 3 million out, which came in each year during the Biden administration, allegedly, and he's sent 2 million back, and I don't think that includes the amount who self-deported. Maybe it does, I don't know, off the top of my head. But he's mad that they haven't done all 30 million in a year. These are the kind of people that you can't please. This is also the kind of person who runs over a stalker, and yes, the guy shouldn't have stalked him. The guy shouldn't have stood in front of his car. But two things. One, I'm okay with running people over, but the fact that his facial expression didn't change, he didn't stop, he didn't call, and he keeps talking about it like, oh, whatever. And he's full on Patrick Bateman-ing. He's just like, do you think he's dead? I hope so. Like, that's the kind of thing you can say personally, but you don't say that when you're live streaming. Especially if you actually mean it. Like, if you're being sarcastic, whatever. But, no, he meant that shit. He's got the dead eyes.
28 million more, right?
South Africa? We shouldn't even be there. Leave them the fuck alone. What the fuck are we doing in Africa?
Agreed.
What are you talking about?
So until these people actually want to make changes that matter, right?
I think 2 million people matters. I think
does it in a country?
It doesn't, because it's a slow bleed that will grow over time, but putting bandages over it and then focusing on the bandages while you're bleeding out somewhere else is just a misdirection.
I agree with the concept. I don't agree with it in this matter. I think that if that's an issue for you, if immigration's an issue for you, and you stop it, and then you start, sending people back to the degree that we have, then you're doing quite a bit. I don't understand what they expected.
Problem is that those people,
and this is exactly the kind of thing that you got underneath Obama. Okay, he campaigned on change, and very little changed. Very little changed. Literally, all that happened was he used his executive authority and overstepped. Oh no. He pushed the Supreme Court, I believe, into reinterpreting the laws to make gay marriage legal, when laws like that are meant to be pushed underneath the House of Representatives and the Senate, the Congress, the legislative branch. They should legislate. I'm happy it happened. I'm okay with gay marriage 100%. But, well, actually, I'm more, the government should stay out of all marriage together. I think marriage is a very religious concept that the religious should be able to marry. Everyone else should be able to do something to the equivalent to, be able to see someone in, if they're in the hospital or whatever benefits you get. But I don't think you should get any state-given benefits for being married. Frankly, if you have matching rings, that should be enough to let someone into an ER. Unless they're afraid you might get murdered.
Will come here, they'll have kids, and then those kids will obviously, this will be a growing demographic that gets larger over time, and then at a certain point, it will be large.
What was my point of that? It was an overstep by the judicial branch. That's what I'm saying. You can't just reinterpret things because you can't get laws passed fast enough. I do think the Republicans were dragging their feet on that, and, whatever. But Republicans should all have a non-religion-based reason for the laws they believe in. It's okay to have that structure with your religion because you're a religious person. But you cannot let your love or hatred of Christianity, Judaism, whatever, dictate your career, your legislative process, basically. You can't let the fact that you love God dictate your entire policy making. At least you have to have a secular reason for it. And at the same reason, you can't let the fact that you hate Christians or because some Christian girl pushed you in the mud and spit on you or something when you were a kid, let that dictate why you make policy these days.
It will be large enough to create a voting block of people that will vote for amnesty for the people that are illegal. That's the reason why Michael's viewpoint is wrong, is he's not thinking about the longitudinal perspective of this.
I think you're thinking about it so much that you think that the guy on the right is based, and I think you're kind of retarded for this one. I'm not going to lie.
Sounds like a great idea inside of the context of the next 2 years or 4 years, but inside of the next 30 years or 50 years or 100 years, this is very clearly a problem.
How many people?
I don't necessarily disagree with Asmon on that.
Exactly. So it's like this is we're not really making any progress here. So for the RNC to just demand voters to continue to show up, for what? Really, it's just that's the cope, right? That's what I'm simply advocating for until the policies change and the rhetoric is a little better.
Exactly. I am so happy to see this. As I said, whenever I was in school and whenever I was in college, everybody that was my age was depressed, mentally ill, fat, retarded, and just in general stupid. And I think that there's still a lot of people that are like that.
Yes.
But the difference is that I think a lot of young guys now, I think they've finally woken up because they've grown up their whole life on the internet. And so they're not sheltered by mainstream media or anything else. Stop, I'm going to cry. I am so proud and so happy. I think this is just not, it's nihilism. It is not nihilism.
It is.
This is not nihilism.
It is.
Because you remember, what did Jesus have to do? Your name is Christian. What's your name? Christian something? Christian to the max. Jesus died on the cross in order to save the entire human race, okay? At a certain point, you've got to have some L's to get a W. So think about Jesus. You think he wanted to spend 40 fucking days in the desert? That shit was hot. You ever been to a desert? I haven't, but I've been outside in the summer. It's hot as hell. He spent 40 years. Remember Moses walking around out in the fucking desert, doesn't know where the fuck it is? Oh, where's Israel? Where's it? I don't know where it is. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. 40 fucking years, 20 years, something like that, he walking around. But you know what happened? I had to sit through, I even had to go to catechism, which was like a fucking, like, Catholic school. What torture I have. So, and it's simple. People should take their own side and not worry about the party. Exactly. And
no. Just no. Look, people being selfish is why we got into the politics of today. Okay? Again, you shouldn't take the party perspective. You should take the people's perspective. People are inherently selfish, yes, but you should do what's best for the country, not the party, not the government, the people of the country. And that's it. What does that mean? I don't exactly know, but it certainly doesn't mean doing whatever's in your own personal self-interest. To an extent, you can do something that can also help you. But sitting around the house doing nothing all day, I mean, it sounds nice, but where does that leave us as a people, as a species even?
That's Abraham. Moses never saw the promised land. He died before it. He was told by God that he would lead his people to the promised land, but he would never actually reach it. Moses did die before he reached the promised land, but I think that he saw it on the horizon or something like that, and then he died. That was, I think, that's the same point. And anyway, this is correct. Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, how about Sunday school? I had to go to that too. I did. And so can't believe people believe in that.
So
I don't know. It's a metaphor. You want to talk about it. It's like a story.
But, like, look at this guy. Tell me that they're not the same person. Like, he definitely looks like Dennis with a little Patrick Bateman on the side. Like, that's crazy. Let's get over here to, I see a little Fuentes.
Anyway, so basically, I see this happen, and it seems like also Nick's saying the same thing.
So my message is this.
Whoa, hold up.
There is a loaded gun pointed at the GOP. Fix it now. Fix the country or get blown away in 28. That's it.
That's right.
No negotiations. No one's holding their nose one more time. No one's going to be a good sport. We're not going to hold the line. We're not going to vote for the lesser of two evil. There is a loaded gun pointed at the GOP, figuratively, not literally.
And I agree with this. I agree. If you don't like either candidate, you shouldn't vote. You shouldn't vote. Or you should research the third party and vote for that person just so we can give your vote some kind of meaning to where we'll give the third party any kind of relevance. Does that mean the Libertarian Party? No, because that golden hedgehog's fucking retarded, okay? It's literally just someone who couldn't hack it in one of the other two parties. But it's not they couldn't hack it because they had too much character. It's because they were too retarded to allow them on the stage. It literally is, with the exception of maybe Spike Cohen and maybe, well, Joe Jorgensen for a little bit, and then she said a few things that were, we'll just say, less than based. But
figuratively, it's a very toxic climate right now, violent climate. But figuratively, there's a loaded gun pointed at the GOP. You better fix this country.
What's the music? I don't know what to say about it.
You better march down to the Oval Office and get this guy awake from his nap and fix the country, or none of us are turning out in 20.
That's right.
That's an ultimatum.
Absolutely.
No, and I completely agree. I do agree with that take. No one should turn out. The other retard saying that you should vote for Newsom because he's handsome is retarded. It's along the same lines as the people who said they were going to vote for McCain because Palin was hot. And we all know she can see Russia from her house. But look, if you're retarded, and this is why I don't think everyone should have the right to vote. I'm not saying men. I'm not saying women. I'm not saying this or that. I don't even know if I'm saying landowners, because I know a lot of retarded landowners. I just think that not everyone should have the right to vote. And the fact that one side is wanting to give illegal immigrants and 16-year-olds the right to vote kind of shows a little bit of desperation. No, we should not. Look, we don't allow people to smoke until 21, or drink, or smoke weed, or anything until 21. Me personally, I don't think you should be able to vote until you get your insurance, the age to where your insurance goes down, because that's when they say you're more rational. Okay, maybe that's just me, but I don't think everyone should have the right to vote, because look on the internet. We've got a lot of retards. You should be able to pass any kind of aptitude test or anything. Voting should be so horrendous that nobody really wants to do it. The only people that want to do it are the people who actually give a shit. There should be some kind of nonpartisan overall test, or some kind of partisan test for each whoever you're willing to vote for. And then I don't even think that it should, well, no, because I don't want to say that, because if we can ever perfect this to where it's incorruptible, I think it should cast a vote based on your answers on the test versus who you're there for. You know what I mean? But I don't think that could ever be, because then no one would really know who they voted for. But that being said, that's all I got for today, guys. Look, I appreciate you for stopping by. Shapeshifter, always a pleasure. But yeah, that's today. Look, I like AsmonGold. He seems like a decent enough fella. He definitely needs to shower and clean up his house. But who am I to say how anyone who makes millions of dollars a year should live? Honestly, my house isn't that much better. But Fuentes, he's got a few base takes, but still, overall, I'll never consider myself anyone who is fond of groypers. And that other guy, our Dennis Reynolds lookalike, he's a fucking retard, okay? And I don't know what mogging is. All I know is I can't say that. But it's sad I can't even quote Family Guy here. But anyway, that's all from me today, guys. I appreciate you for stopping by. I had a lot of stuff that was potentially going to be here for today. Sargon of Akkad talking about a bunch of Italy stuff, or Italy. Things happen in the UK. Some stuff going on with the Somali fraud. And then this interview here where this person is so delusional. But I might get to that this weekend. I might just watch the whole interview as it stands. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was that Milo girl from like 10 years ago on YouTube. But apparently that's a dude. So, yeah. Anyway, but we will see you on the show tomorrow morning. Yeah, guys, just think, okay? You're not beholden to any party, and if you are, you live a very sad existence, okay? But just do what you think is right, or instill a little chaos. See what happens. But I got to get to work. I got to get ready.